As I huff and puff my way up the stairs, I see that the door to the roof is open, just as I'd thought, all according to my calculation. But when I got there, I didn't see what I expected to. It took my breath away. It looks like a studio, like that place. This is the entrance to this world we used up until this spring. It went away after we solved the mystery last year, but it must have come back when Labris entered the TV and created the school. I guess that when everybody saw the Midnight Channel, they all became interested in it, like last time. That's why it looks exactly the same.
You're here.
In the middle of the area, Aigis and the Shadow, still carrying Labris, are at a standoff. Labris is silent. She looks conscious, but her eyes are empty, as if she's given up trying to understand anything. The Shadow smiles when she sees me and snaps her fingers. Suddenly, the area is enveloped with a strange presence.
What? The Grand Prix isn't over yet. If you want to chase me, you better fight each other.
Hey, wait!
I try to chase after the Shadow, but run into another invisible wall. This crap again? The Shadow disappears back into the school building. Dang it! It looks like I just helped her buy more time. The Grand Prix isn't over? Don't tell me I've got to fight more to keep going. So now I have to fight this robot, Aigis? I timidly ask her. Heck, I don't know anything about her other than her name, and that she's a robot. First, I need to find out what the heck she's doing here.
Is it true you came to capture her?
You're Captain Ressentiment, Yosuke Hanamura, correct?
She knows me! And she knows about the Ressentiment part! Someone kill me!
I saw you in the video advertising this tournament. The one showing the people currently in this world.
Did you now?
Still, Ressentiment, huh? It still really ticks me off, but to be honest, it's not that far from the truth.
Normally, I would recommend that you evacuate at once, but neither of us can leave. I must go after her.
What a coincidence. Me too.
But this has nothing to do with you.
I may not have meant to, but I hurt that girl. She was depending on me, and I turned my back on her.
Not a human? A robot? So what? That's what I'd wanted to say to her, but I couldn't. That's why
I need to go and apologize.
When I say that, Aigis' expression relaxes. It's a really natural expression, very human-like. Labris' face was like that too.
I think I should explain certain things to you. I'm not authorized to disclose everything, but...
She slowly begins to speak. Apparently, there were incidents involving shadows and personas outside Inaba too. They didn't start recently either, but they made an unofficial squad to deal with stuff like that, and Aigis belongs to that group. She's a weapon created solely to fight shadows. She was given a soul so that she can summon a persona, the only method of dealing with shadows. Miss President, Labris, was a prototype, but she went AWOL. Holy crap. I mean, after last year, I'm ready for any kind of crazy story, but this still takes me by surprise. Of course, it's not all that hard to believe when one of the robot girls is standing right here in front of me. But still.
There are shadows outside the TV too?
We would never have realized that a television could lead to a space like this.
Well, I'm surprised by what you just told me, so I guess we're even.
I tried joking and smiling, but Aigis doesn't smile back. She is not the snack that smiles back, chat. She looks straight at me. Her eyes are filled with strength. I can tell that she's measuring me up. Come to think of it, Labris looked at me the same way when we first met. I remember thinking, man, those eyes.
Hey, please tell me, what's going to happen to Labris once you catch her?
I cannot answer that.
Aigis hesitates before answering, like she has to squeeze it out of her throat. That pause says more to me than her words.
If you have no other questions, then let us begin the battle. There isn't any time to spare. Please don't resist. I can knock you out painlessly if you comply.
Yikes.
That's a yikes for me, Chief.
But hey, I can't back down.
I act cocky so that I won't get scared, but when I smile, I know that I can't just let her beat me.
Are you really going to fight a living weapon like myself? I do not mean to boast, but your chances of success are low.
I'm still a guy. And guys should help out crying girls, right?
Respect. For some reason, this brings a smile to her face. Then I had a thought. Was she trying to scare me to keep me from getting into something dangerous? Perhaps this is her way of trying to be kind to me. Well, if it is, it's not gonna work. I'll never forgive myself if I was sent home now. I'd lose something important to me. I've already made my decision. Maybe Aigis sensed that resolution in me because she takes a fighting stance.
I understand. I accept your challenge. Here I come.
Let's get it. Do you think Yosuke has a better character arc than Akechi? Tie. They also tie with Kanji. I don't remember what your ult is, Yosuke. It's been way too long. I love that poison grab. V slash. It's a slash in the shape of a V. See what I did there? Dude, I love his throw. It's so awesome. The super fast double slice. Oh, it's so good. I want to see his ult again. Ow. Can't touch this. I've been bombed. Aigis. 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 Not bad, not bad. I think Yosuke's ult is super easy to hit, isn't it? I believe it is. Yeah.
Let's do this.
Slice and dice. My shoulders bounce up and down as I wipe my sweaty face on my sleeve. I'm completely out of breath.
Well done. I'm surprised you defeated me.
Didn't expect that, to be honest. What, that I wouldn't just say Akechi? Yosuke, Kanji, and Akechi are, like, honestly probably the top 3 characters in Persona for me. To be completely honest. Those 3, and then, after that, probably Mitsuru is up there in the top 5. She's around there. Mitsuru's probably she's my favorite other than Koromaru, obviously, from Persona 3. After that, probably, like, I'd have to sit and think about it for a second for who would be 5th in my top 5. It would probably be Sojiro or Yusuke. One or the other.
But this may have been for the best.
Huh?
You are truly concerned for her, even after discovering that she's a living weapon. Your sympathy is much more impressive than that of a fellow machine like myself. Such consideration is immeasurably warm and cherished for us.
I guess his voice is gentle, but she also sounds a little sad. I sense that she's carrying a burden I can't even imagine. I don't know what to say, but she gives me another of those soft smiles.
I met my own friends once, and reached my own answer. I was thinking of telling my sister of these experiences.
Yeah, technically Koromaru is the best character in Persona history, but he's so benevolent that he's just like, don't count me in your character lists, it's not fair.
Oh, she's your sister.
But I think it's better that you tell her instead.
Will I be able to do that? Wouldn't it be better for Aigis to go? No, the answer's already there. I have to face Labris for Aigis' sake as well. I look straight into her eyes to show my determination.
I don't know if I have the answer you're talking about, but there is something I want her to know.
He doesn't own the FES version of Persona 3. He's only got the original.
I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it across, but when I was going through tough times, I had my friend...
He just bite his tongue. Son of a whore! That was such an awesome speech, and I muffed the last word. This is the most relatable Persona moment of my entire life. Silence ensues.
Friend.
Dude, do you think about everything?
Pure disappointment when you open your mouth. Now I understand.
How do you know about that?
My database is perpetually being updated. Even as we speak, I am receiving information about you from the server, known for wearing a trash can on his head. I comprehend.
Well, is she going through the Reddit posts of Persona 4?
Wait, how come all this information about me is bad? And what's this server you're talking about?
Yeah, why is it only bad things? Who's your least favorite Persona character? The Death Arcana from Persona 4. Worst social link of all time.
To think you would have such hobbies. The possibilities of man are truly infinite.
My man Yosuke just likes to cosplay as Oscar the Grouch. Don't be hating.
That's not...
Senpai, can you hear me?
A transmission from Rize. That's right, now's not the time to be acting stupid.
Loud and clear. Did you pick up Labrys's trail?
She's headed for the announcement room again. I'm gonna get out of here while I can.
The announcement room again? At first I was worried about Rize, but now that I think about it, as long as she can use her persona to track the enemy, she's safer than anybody in here. Alright, time to catch up. If the Shadow needed to make us fight to stall for time, it means she's still got something up her sleeve. I slapped my cheeks to wake myself up a bit. I'll finish it this time.
I entrust Labrys, my sister, with you.
As I'm leaving, I hear Aigis' voice from behind. Her words give me some relief.
I don't know, that you were gonna capture her and lock her up somewhere. Her Shadow was talking about how she didn't want to be caged again, and that she wanted to be free. But you don't seem like the type to do that. I think you really do have her best interests in mind. I'll bring Labrys back to you, whatever it takes, Aigis-san.
Hanamura-san, thank you.
Look at that. Labrys does have a place to go. Yeah, she doesn't belong here in this made-up school. I bow to Aigis and start running again. I return to the announcement room and open the door. All I see is Labrys sitting alone in the middle of the room. Her mechanical legs are splayed on the floor, and she seems to be mumbling something happily. Okay, that's not right. The Shadow is nowhere to be found. Where is she watching from? Oblivious to my suspicion, Labrys starts talking to me in a cheerful but almost lifeless voice.
Oh, it's you, Yosuke-kun. What's wrong? Shouldn't you be in class?
You're not thinking straight. We're inside the TV world. You're not the student council president.
What are you talking about? I came here to broadcast a student council announcement.
Labrys looks up with empty eyes. I read that as hooks at first, and I was like, what? She's no longer in her human form, but her stuck-on smile is painful to look at. That's not a real smile. I take a deep breath.
Labrys. That's your name. You know that, right? Let's go back and put an end to this fake world.
Why? Why are you saying that stuff?
Labrys finally looks me clearly in the eye. She's seen the truth.
I want to stay here. This is the only place I can belong.
Labrys slowly stands up and puts her arm behind her back. She removes her wings and they expand to form a giant axe.
I won't go back. I'm gonna stay here forever and ever.
She brings down her axe with incredible speed. To swing a huge chunk of steel like that so easily, that's just not humanly possible. I mean, I expected as much, but I can't go easy on her.
I'm sorry I have to do this. I'll apologize as much as you want later. But right now, I've gotta stop you with everything I have.
Let's get it. Bow, 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 banna, banna, boom, 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 boom. Isn't it crazy to think about that, like, Aigis and Labrys are pretty much younger than everyone else here? They're like the age of the Persona 5 cast. I'm spinning here! Get Beybladed, son! You're nothing to the might of the Beyblade. Sorry! I'm dizzy. Yo, we spinning up in here. About to part the Red Sea with my Beyblade like Moses did. Whoops. I love when Yosuke's grab fails. It looks so funny. I almost got it perfect, dang it. Do. No, that Joker thing is right. That Joker was originally planned to be in this game. I read about it. They wanted to put Joker in Arena Ultimax, I think, to promote Persona 5. Because I don't remember when Ultimax actually came out, but it was before they thought that they were going to... they thought that Persona 5 would be coming out not long after Persona 4 Arena Ultimax, so it was meant to... Joker showing up was meant to kind of be an advertising bit. They wanted, because, you know, Persona 4 was popular enough to get the dancing spin-off, and two fighting game spin-offs. So they were like, let's put Joker in there to get these Persona 4 fans to be like, oh, Persona 5's coming out, we need to buy Persona 5. But then they didn't go through with it. Would have been neat to see Joker in this to be able to fight as him.
Why? Why can't I stay like this?
What good will it do for you to forget everything? You know that you're trying to ignore the truth and that you're lying to yourself. That'll only bring you more pain.
You have to reach out to the truth. Labris drops to the floor, crying her heart out. I'm glad they didn't. That wouldn't have fit in well. Well, like, I don't think they would have included him in the story mode or anything. This is the story of Arena before that idea even came up. I don't know what the Ultimax story is like, which we're going to be doing after we're done with all the Arena story. Maybe he would have fit in the Ultimax story somehow, some way. I have no idea. But I don't think that they would have included him in the story mode or anything like that. I think they would have, like, had him as a playable fighting character with, like, some voice lines. I mean, it would have fit fine. Labris drops to the floor, crying her heart out. I know this is for her own good, but seeing it hurts me deep down inside. Labris looks at me with eyes filled with misery.
You wouldn't understand. No one can understand how I feel.
That's right. They never understand.
An ominous voice butts into our conversation.
Shadow. So you were nearby after all.
I'm not a huge fan of the previous characters interacting without a good reason. I think you're missing what I'm saying. We don't know what their plan was because they didn't do it. My interpretation is that if Joker would have been in this game as a playable character, he wouldn't have had any interaction other than, like, combat dialogue where he, like, says, like, Aigis, and shoots a blast of darkness at someone or something. They wouldn't have had interactions. He would have just been a playable character in a fighting game. So, like, you know.
Why wouldn't I be? I'm her.
No, do not say anything about Persona 3 Portable in chat. I'm going to play that. Man, wherever she is, I can't see her. Where's she hiding? As I'm looking around. Have we seen this already? Oh, is this where everything turns red? Oh, this music. Yeah, this is a really quick one. I don't need to skip this. The darkness disappears and the scenery is completely different. The view outside the window is changed to something weird and creepy. A piercing red light fills the room.
What's going on?
What is that? Some giant metal container like a furnace, and something's being tossed into it like garbage. Or, as some people say, garbage. I look closer and see that the garbage looks like arms and legs. Hey, it looks like people. I try to calm the horror I feel creeping up my spine. I just don't know how to describe it. All I can say is that wherever this is, it's nasty. This isn't the announcement room anymore. As I stand fixated on the view outside, the shadow appears silently from the corner of the room.
And I still need her, so I can become myself.
She approaches me as she talks. Her face is illuminated by two things, the red light from the room outside and the madness in her eyes. I back away in spite of myself. But the shadow ignores me, drawing close to Labris. Shoot, that's right. Labris hasn't said the words that the shadow needs to hear. Her shadow hasn't gained true power yet. That's why she was trying to buy time.
Forgetting was your only escape route. But that's been stolen from you too. Poor pitiful me.
I'm just stating my personal feelings about intertwining games. Like, if Yosuke had been in Persona 5, I would have wanted a good reason. I mean, like, I just disagree. I like cameos. I love cameos and stuff in games. Like, the Tales of franchise always has post-game cameos. There's never really much reason for why those characters show up in post-game cameos other than to be cool boss fights and have short interactions with the characters. I live for that kind of stuff. I absolutely love it. I love it when games put cameos to other stuff. Like Persona 5 having the cameos of, like, Rize's poster and stuff like that. I totally love it when games put cameos and whatnot into past characters. Labris' shadow turns and begins regaling her. Her lips are at Labris' ear, her words tugging at her heart.
You made them go through the same girl didn't understand.
The same pain?
It was so painful. It made you so sad. You hated destroying them.
Destroying them? I take another look at the horror show outside the window. Yosuke is going to be like the only character so far, at least, to like kind of put together that I remember. I don't think any of the other characters looked at the scenery and really thought what it meant. So I like that he's going to kind of notice it and be like, oh, I understand. The broken human figure's being thrown in the incinerator. This is a sight Labrys's heart created, right? Then that means this is. I suddenly felt like a cold grasp. Like I can't read. Like I could grasp the weight Labrys was bearing in her heart. And I could see how heavy that weight was. The Shadow takes a quick glance at me and continues
He
speaking.
was forced to fight his friends too. But he didn't feel the despair that we did. He wasn't alone, after all. He's completely different from us. We're not human or an ordinary machine. We don't belong anywhere, and we'll always be alone. No one will ever understand us. Please stop!
The Shadow's trying to make Labrys deny that they're the same. I know that, but I can't do anything to stop her. I quietly watch as the two of them talk.
I'm not alone! I'm not! If they don't understand, who will? Only ones who could were all destroyed. By our own hands. No! That was you, not me!
Man, they go a lot deeper on Labrys's backstory and how she had to kill the other model units like her in Yosuke's story compared to the others. I love it.
You're not me! I'm free now! No one can capture me! I'm truly free!
We seen that. Well, there it is. The Shadow goes wild and strikes Labrys, knocking her aside. I catch her from behind. Labrys looks up at me, a bit surprised. But the look in her eyes is frail, ready to fade away at any moment. I smile at her.
Don't worry. It's okay if you can't at first. It's really hard to accept yourself. The only reason I could do it was because I had friends to help me. It would have been impossible to do on my own. I'm here with you now. And you've got Aigis-san too. We'll help you face yourself.
And then we'll reach out to the truth! The Shadow's form is a bit of a surprise. Instead of changing shape, she summoned a monster behind her. What the heck, man? That's like a persona. And it's pretty gigantic. Just looking at it makes me weak in the knees. It's at least 3 times my size. The Shadow's eyes glow gold as she turns her wings into an axe like Labrys had. Crap, and it was hard enough just fighting a robot girl with the axe. I'm gonna be honest here, I'm having a hard time thinking I can take her on by myself. But something pops up in the back of my mind. The faces of my friends, of Aigis, everyone who's trusted me with all their hopes. I get ready to fight. Power surges through my body. Alright, now it's my turn to work.
I'm gonna save you no matter what. And when we make a promise like that, we keep it.